most helpful book ever published will show everyone how nature creates people's personalities. So, why is this important? Well, imagine trying to figure out someone you don't really know but would like to know. Maybe it's a new friend or business associate or someone you are considering for an intimate relationship. Now ask yourself, if nature is creating everyone's personality, wouldn't it be wise to know what nature does to create a person's personality? After all, what nature does is the final say and nobody can really interfere with nature's plans. It is best to work with nature rather than attempt something that works against nature. You see, the most helpful book ever published is a way to understand what works with nature. It is the means to really understanding people so that you can make a pretty good, accurate and educated guess about others. In only minutes, not hours, or days or weeks or months, or even years, investing your time and life on people who may have the least chance of reciprocating friendship or even love. Not because they don't want to, but because nature has other plans for them that you need to know about so that you can understand them better, to at least know what nature has done to them to decrease or increase the odds of forming strong relationships. When you understand nature better, you can understand what is happening to your life better. For example, would it really be wise to go ice skating at temperatures above freezing? You see, we first have to know what nature is doing before we can make our own plans to increase the odds of our success. To learn more about nature, we need to educate ourselves if we want the odds in our favor. The most helpful book ever published is a way to put the odds in your favor for many reasons. Maybe it's to be a better, more understanding parent or lover. Maybe it's to be more productive and prosperous in business. Whatever the reason, you want the odds in your favor to be more successful. So how can this great work of literature help everyone to learn more about people's personalities? The core or body of this exciting material contains 8 chapters which describe and uncover the unique ways of how nature shapes us in a special way that improves your comprehension of understanding personalities to the point that you really can read people like a book, and in a way like never before. This means you will understand why people act and behave the way they do with their unique habits, all shaped by nature. You will learn about nature's personality factory that creates personality similar to how an auto factory creates cars. For example, every year nature creates 12 different people. One person from each month of the calendar year. The personality trends observed from those 12 people would be similar enough to divide those 12 people into 4 groups. Those 4 groups of people would contain 3 people each with similar personality patterns. Any group name you want to call them is fine. For example, call the groups A, B, C, and D. But the book calls the groups Earth, Air, Water, and Fire, naming them after the 4 elements of life. Everything is based on consistent trend. For example, the concept that bananas are yellow means that no matter how many bananas we look at, nature repeats. Bananas are yellow. What does all this mean? You see, this is very important because no matter who you are, everyone belongs to one of these very important 4 groups of people formed by nature. You will learn what group you belong to so that you can now identify which group of people's personalities you are more likely to be more successful with. You see, there are 2 other personalities besides yourself which nature creates to make up the group of people you belong to. When you learn how to identify these 4 groups, you will learn what people in particular are made just like you. They will think and act and even share some of the same feelings and beliefs just as you do. Why is this so? Because nature has created this special group of people just for you. These 4 groups of personalities don't end with only people. They also include animals, insects, and other creatures that make up our world. This means you might have a pet that could have the same personality as yourself. Of course, pets are a different species altogether, but there are similar personality features which stand out, such as emotions or ways of expression which may be recognized and similar among all life in that particular group that they belong to. By now you should be able to see that nature is the builder of people's personality and that the 4 groups of different personalities formed by nature are important to recognize so that we can see where we fit in with people to increase our odds of success with others. The most helpful book ever published certainly is perfectly named for helping everyone to identify in only minutes if the person we are curious about has been created by one of nature's four groups similar to ours for better odds of success with that person. And the person we are curious about could be anybody. A relative, friend, lover, business partner, or even our own son or daughter. You name it, and this incredible book will tell you in minutes what your odds of success will be with this person you seek. 10 years went into writing this informative material. The official copyright was established and recorded in the United States in the year 2022. This is a very rare original work that can't be found anywhere else. The most helpful book ever published sets an example with the goal and desire to present a great work of quality material in a newly discovered science from the publishing industry to help others gain better health, wealth, and knowledge for a terrific future. This is a rare work that can't be found anywhere else. If you have a hobby or are a professional book collector or are thinking about starting a book collection, you can add value to your collection by collecting this first signature edition offered here. You don't have to read the whole book ever because you will only be reading the sections which pertain to you, as this will be explained with very easy comprehension to see that you won't be reading with much labor at all with mostly short readings. You only read what you need. This rare work of literature was written with the following strict guidelines which were more difficult than any doctor program at any university. First, it must be a new scientific discovery that no mind has ever touched. Second, it must be non-fiction. Third, it must receive an official registration of copyright by the United States government. This book is certainly very informative, and you will learn fascinating concepts to understand people better. This means no more struggling in your life trying to guess what you are good at, who your best companion is, or what career you are cut out for. The entire book is designed for easy comprehension and is very simple. In fact, you won't be reading this material with much labor at all with mostly short readings. Add the most helpful book ever published to your collection now. P.S. Thomas W. Ente searches on Google and Yahoo quickly finds you, the most helpful book ever published.